Let me show you a scores. My question is, how do you get 78, 68, 83, 82 in a list using list comprehension? Any confusion with the question? Question is clear?
Yes, sir.
I need to get the numbers, which are these numbers 78, 68, 83, but stored in a list using list comprehension. And there is nothing new that I need to do. Trust me, if you have followed all along what I was doing, it's kind of same. It's exactly same. And you remember now how I copied the elements from a for loop and then added to a list comprehension code. So what do I copy?
Sir, I of 0
Hmm.
and then for loop wala condition.
Exactly. So my operation is just accessing the first value in I. Okay, and just to make it relatable and for everyone to connect well, I can just first do I for I in scores and do see the output. I for I in scores. What will this give me?
All the elements.
Yes, it will create a copy of the list only. And it's exactly same as this. If you look at this, exactly same. Right? We are printing I na from scores. And the same thing I'm doing here, but in list comprehension. So whatever the value of I is, it is going to be stored in a list, which is same as the nested list. Okay. But now I have the flexibility to modify this operation. It need not be I, correct?
No,
Right.
sir.
So I will start doing indexing here itself. Each value of I is a list. I can do indexing, let's say I0. So it will get hold of the list, fetch the first item, store it somewhere. Then the second iteration of the for loop, I value is this entire list. Get hold of the first item 68 and store it somewhere. Other iteration, first value, other iteration, first value, other iteration, first value. So similarly, it will just access the first value for each of the inner list. Right? And just compare the two lines. What have I written here and what is the output it is giving me? And what have I written here and what is the output that is giving me? Okay, please spend a minute. This is very important, which is where I often say that be attentive. Right? For you to build something bigger, you need to look at the finer particles also. Please look at these two lines. I'm sure a lot of this will be clear. These two lines. And please let me know if it is clear. The only thing that you need to be absolutely sure about here is what is the value of I when I run the for loop. Agar aapko wo samajh mein aa gaya, if you understand that bit, you can do anything with that. You can do indexing, you can do many things with that. So first thing that I would advise, in case you have not done hands-on so far, is for any collection, let's say like this, simple for loop, just run it and print I. Just start with that. You will get comfortable. Okay, I is a list, right? You will get to the point understanding that each I that is being used in the for loop is a list, or let's say something else also. And to double check that it is indeed a list, I can do a type function on this. So it displays that yes, in first iteration it is also a list, then it is list, and then it is list every time. So if you are comfortable with this, one second. If you are comfortable with understanding what is the value of I, start writing the list comprehension way of doing so. And this is exactly what I've written here. Same thing I've written here. You get comfortable with that, then take the next step. Start applying indexing, start applying some operation on that. Okay. Now, if I want to increase the score of each student by 5, let's say subject 1 score, there was some question which was incorrect. Teacher only did the mistake. Right. So subject one question was incorrectly worded. Okay. And the teacher wants to give 5 complimentary marks to each student in subject 1. How can that be done? As a teacher, I want to give 5 complimentary marks to each student in subject 1. So add 5 to 78, add 5 to 68, add 5 to 83. And keep on doing it. How do I do it? I just have to add number 5 na, to this individual data point, correct?
Yes, sir.
See, I've been able to access that number, 78, 68, which is what I'm storing here. So if I just do a plus 5, right, then that should be enough, correct? So this becomes your new operation, accessing the number and then adding a 5. Here I was just accessing and storing. Now I'm not only just accessing, but also doing a plus 5 and then store it. Also notice that since I've been able to access the numbers in a list, I can quickly apply the max operation on this. So इसको नीचे ले लेते हैं because it may become confusing. Okay. As soon as this list is given, I can do a max now. And I get to know quickly that 92 is the maximum score in subject 1. Same thing, minimum. Okay, and do tell me if there's something confusing. I hope it is making sense so far. Right, so once you access the information, then start applying the operation that is suitable for a list. Right, just feel free to use it like a normal list. Whatever is possible, average, there's no direct function, but you can always do a sum divided by len. Okay, so you can do a sum on this. Right, and then divided by 10, because you know that there are 10 students, or you can just do a len of S course. Right, so len of S course is also 10. You know, right? Those are the number of students in the nested list. So you can make it dependent on the list length. Right, so something like this. So in terms of main items that we covered today, we learned how to create a nested list using multiple ways. Then random sample is what we thought this is a more official way of creating a simple list of random integers. And we applied that in a list comprehension way. That started giving us a nested list of numbers. And here I create a nested list of student scores. And I intentionally kept the scores between 40 to 100. Right? Because those are the marks that you get in an exam out of 100. And on that collection of numbers, you can do various kind of operations using indexing and looping, which is what I was able to demonstrate. And for this problem statement, since it is a information of student scores, a teacher would want to create summaries. A teacher would want to look at what is the maximum score, what is the minimum score, and average score, which is where you need to access elements at the same index position in each of the inner list. And that is where doing something like this, which is list comprehension, is a more quicker way of accessing information. Right? Imagine you getting all these values using a for loop. Right? It is easy but tedious also, right? You have to create a blank list, iterate, and then append and all that. Instead of doing all that, just write a simple line and that's it. Let me ask you a more trickier problem. By using a line like this, I've been able to compute the maximum score of subject 1. Right? And let's take it down. Again, showing you a scores and writing that code again. And this code space-wise, मैं थोड़ा shrink कर लेता हूँ. Right, so this is the code that gives you the maximum score for subject 1. And if I were to ask, can you tell me the maximum score for subject 2? What would I do? What changes should I do? Change the index value to 1. Right, so in this collection of numbers, the maximum score is 93. And please do verify yourself. It is 93. Okay, but I have to make a slight change in the code. Similarly, I can just keep on doing it for other subjects. My question to you is, can I achieve all the maximum scores in just one line of code? So can I get 92, 93, 86, and whatever is the maximum? Let's say it is 94 here, and then it is 98 here. Can I get these 5 values in a list? Okay, I want to get all the 5 scores, all the 5 maximum value of scores in a single line of code. Basically, I will demonstrate how to get it manually for different subjects, but you should be able to do it in one line. And what do I expect as the output? I expect a list with something like this as the output: 86, 94, and 98. So I expect this as the output. This is my output. So write a line of code using again list comprehension that generates this output. And as soon as I change S scores, I again run that solution and get a revised list. I don't have to run each and every line, right? These 5 lines. All good, guys? And you have to see a pattern, right? I think it is a good time for you to start seeing a pattern in all these selected highlighted codes. What is it that I can vary so that I start getting the numbers? Just look at the pattern. These are exactly same, right? All of these code lines are exactly same, na? Except for one number. What is that number?
So
the index.
Index. So this, everything is same. So if I can somehow manage to do something like this, where this value, I'm just writing that value, okay, back in the brackets. Let's say if I put this as J and there's something written here, there's something written here. If I can do something like this for J in, and then in range, what will I write? What do I need to write here in range? Look at the values.
So 0 to 5.
Or I can write 5. Because range 5 gives me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, na? Automatically. And that is what I need. So I need to write one more for loop, right? Max function जो यहाँ पे लिखा है हमने, whatever we have written, there is already a for loop inside. And I've accounted for it already. But you need something else also outside it. So that is where you go to nested for loops. Okay, I'm just giving you a hint. If you want to take a screenshot, please do. You have to fill in all the remaining details. But this should give you this straight away. All the top 5 scores for all the subjects. Similarly, you can do a min also. Okay, basically this will come in a list as a list comprehension. And trust me, people, this is where you want to be. This is where you want to be. This is what industry asks for.